are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
Hello, and welcome once again to another fantastic Tuesday, day that God has blessed us to be able to see and be thankful for all of the greatness that is available to us. And yes, greatness. This is still a great country. This is still a great plentiful opportunities that are out there. This is still something that we should always still be looking forward to. So thank you everybody for, again, as always I say it, not finding the time, but making the time. Those of you who make that time, I am forever grateful and always appreciative of everyone who literally gives me that time to, again, pick up some knowledge, pick up some information that's going to help you and yours confront a lot of these unnecessary circumstances that we currently find ourselves in. And obviously this is pre or post COVID. This is before COVID. All of this stuff that we're talking about now, the majority of it was prior to COVID. COVID just, as I was talking to one of my colleagues, just revealed, it pulled back the covers. It allowed for us to really see what was going on. So don't think this is new. This is not new. It's just now being put out there in the open space for all of us to consume. And we're consuming it. Trust me when I tell you, we're consuming it. So as always, thank you everybody for taking that time. My name is Tyrone Glover, and I am your Dress Down CEO. I don't do the suit and tie. I don't do the button up and all of the choker things going on. No, I'm sorry. I can't do that anymore. Me and corporate America have had our run-ins and our ongoings. And again, nothing against corporate America. I appreciate everything that I was able to take from corporate America and better my situation now that I can go out and I can express the concerns that I have with corporate America to those who are now fully immersed in corporate America. I'm just a consumer now, but I'm a consumer who is a full-fledged teacher. I am a full-fledged advocate. I am a full-fledged activist in making sure I am a business owner in making sure that you, the consumer, everybody who makes that time to be with us, that you get exactly what you desire. So I do hope that everybody, as you listen, as you pay attention, as you have questions, please don't hesitate to put those questions in that comment section and let us answer those as we're going along the show. All right. So again, I'm always appreciative and so much thankful for everybody that makes that time. I want to give a quick shout out to a couple of people. Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse. Again, if you do not know who that is, folks, please look her up. She is one of my mentors, someone who really, again, I just do the credit piece. I'm just building that foundation. I'm laying out the concrete for you, whether you want a 2-room shack or whether you want a 18 palatial room palace. Doesn't matter. You're going to still need someone who's going to lay that concrete, who's going to lay that foundation, who's going to make that all come to fruition when the finished product is done. So that's what I do. But Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, again, she's going to erect those walls. She's going to put the right wall up, the side wall up. She's going to put that front wall up, that back wall up, and she's going to seal the deal by actually putting on the roof. She's going to complete the package for you. I got other friends who equally can do that as well. Another one of my good friends who's a fiduciary, someone who's responsible by law to make sure that you, the consumer, make out. Antonio Kenyatta. Can't wait to get both of them individuals on the show. But as I stated all the time, thank you. Thank you for all of you. These are shows that you should be watching. Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, Access Wealth Nation, same time slot, but on Thursdays. Make sure you're tuning in. Make sure you're tuning in. And to my girl, Shatika Garrison. She's finally putting those big feet out there into the world, or shall we say them big hands out into the world. She's got her shop ready to start opening up here pretty soon. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Hi, Susan. I see you, my girl. Hey there. So awesome, awesome, awesome to her. Everybody, please, if you're looking to get that hair done, if you're looking to get yourself into a better financial situation, I just gave you two great names. Two great names. Look them up. Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, Shatika Big Hands Garrison. Making it happen. Congratulations to both of these amazing women. This is the decade of the women. And as a proud Black American, I am so happy to be able to tell them, I got your back. I got your back. All of you women out there, every single last one of them. It's my great friend Susan, who just chimed in as well. A superb, superior individual who I can always turn to. And as I said, a woman. Women are doing their things and they're sitting back, taking no names from men. They're just making it happen for themselves, and I can't be prouder of all our women. So congratulations, women. Continue to keep doing, and there is one Black man that you can definitely say who's got your back right here. All right, with that being said, we're going to dive into our lessons, getting it going. Again, this is a continuation from last week. We were talking about why are people leaving the workplace and why aren't people returning to the workplace? And there's multiple reasons, multiple factors as to why. And I'm sure you're probably thinking, well, why is a credit guy talking about workplace? Why aren't people going back to workplace and so forth and so on? Well, I'm not just a credit guy. I'm someone who's been in the workplace for over 30 years. Worked for corporate America, always in that just below that CFO or COO opportunity. I was always just below that. I stayed right there in that realm where I was able to obviously rub elbows with those up at the top and clearly keep my position with those down at that lower echelon and give them, again, just like I'm giving you, these gold nuggets, these important facts that you need to know to make sure that you can make it through whatever circumstance that may come. If you're in COVID right now, which we all are, and your credit score is still in that 4 or 5 area, you need to be talking to somebody like myself. If you're in the workplace, which we all are, and you're in that 6, 7, you still need to be talking to somebody like myself. And if you're in that workplace, which we all are, and you're in that 850s, well, you're doing good for yourself. At 800 to 850, you're doing good for yourself. But again, keep monitoring your stuff. And if you're in that 800, 850, you are monitoring your stuff. I'm not even worried about you. You are monitoring. You're getting the good interest rates. But if for whatever reason you're not, that's what we're here for. But we're mainly here to talk to African Americans. We're mainly here to talk to Hispanics. We're mainly here to talk to poor, middle-class white folks. We're mainly here to talk to males, females. We're here to talk to these 18-year-olds making it into their work environment. We're here to talk to the majority of the community, of the population. 70%, 70 to 80% of the population is still struggling with financial issues related to credit. But this right here, why are people leaving the workplace? Let's go ahead and dive a little bit further into it. I'm going to speed through some of these PowerPoints because I want to get to where we left off last week. This is just a continuation from the last week's show, but it was really important that we highlighted some of these situations that are ongoing so that you, the consumer, can walk away with a better understanding. You are of value. You might not think you have value, but you are of value. And if your employer doesn't know it, I know it. I know how much value you bring to your entities. Your employers do not really give you much credence because they're thinking about their bottom line. So unless you want to become someone who is either doing it for yourself or you choose to continue working for someone, you're going to need to know this information. You're going to need to know, how do I put my best foot forward? And that best foot forward comes with how you manage your money. All right, so really quick, I'm going to go through this. As I said, this was all from last week. This is just a continuation where as we get through about, I think it's the 14th or 15th slide, we're going to pick up from right there. But I'm going to go through this information relatively quickly. Washington Post, the number of people quitting their jobs has surged to record highs, pushed by a combination of factors. And one of the factors that I constantly keep saying is, but let's take a look at these numbers. Some 4.3 million people have quit since August. In August, excuse me. Do you believe that that went up or do you believe that went down? It went up. People are exhausted. They're tired. Look at the New York Times. Same thing. Record breaking 4.3. Look at the Wall Street Journal. The same thing. U.S. workers left their jobs nearly 20 million times before April and August of this year. So again, huge numbers. And why are people just leaving? Let's take into consideration the money that they were getting. That's all done. Most of the unemployment situations that we're giving that extra unemployment, that's done. It's over with. You're back to your normal basic pennies that you would receive from unemployment. That's done and it's gone. Employers are even equally offering or asking or giving signing bonuses, but those signing bonuses don't really do much because they're pennies. They're pennies. Nobody's going to go to work. And again, as I said, my personal opinion, why people is because the workplace has become so hostile. I'm a teacher and I see it every single day, how hostile the work environment is. And why? Why is it hostile? You mean to tell me you can't get along with the people that you work with? Why is it so hostile? It's only hostile because it's been created to be that way. And people who have common sense and somewhat of decency and a little bit of coin in the bank, they're not going to go back to these types of environments. If you know that you are worth something, you're going to go out and you're going to exercise your worth. Because just taking a measly little minimum wage job or just taking a measly little salary that someone's trying to offer you of $18, $19, $20, that's barely existing. It's not living. You want to be living, you got to put yourself somewhere in that $32, $40 an hour. And most of these chintzy, cheesy, greedy, grubbing, gouging institutions, all they do is pocket your work for free labor. You can call it free labor, and I'm going to call it free labor. I'm going to call it exactly what it is. It's free labor. Because when they're not compensating you properly, you're working for free. When they're not able to provide you with the securities of workplaces, which is health care, which is dental, which is vision, which is daycare, which is all the essentials that allow for you to go to that workplace and perform exceptionally. But how do you perform exceptionally when your worries about the job outweighs the worries of doing the job? Yes, I know I say a lot of things that make people really think, but that's the whole purpose of this show, to make you really think, to make you really, really, really think. In my own words, I said it before, I will forever be thankful for all my past employers for allowing me the amazing opportunities to manage, lead, train, and develop on so many levels. 30 years. 30 years I've dedicated my knowledge, skills, talents to corporate America and Americans within corporate. And in return, I, like most individuals of color, have received empty promises on top of empty promises. I'm only speaking truth here, people. That's it. And you go again. You don't believe my truth, evaluate your own truth. When corporate America and Americans, like most businesses and individuals, get it wrong, they're focused on profit over people and me over we. This is the problem right there. Focused on profit over people and me over we. The profit you desire is in the right people you hire. Everybody that has ever worked for me will tell you, Mr. Glover was a great employer, a great employer. He always made sure that his people had. Again, wages are not in my control. I can only submit something to HR and hope that HR takes my word as an operator serious. But we've now come to understand that those individuals don't care. They could care less about the operators. All right. And it's even today so prevalent. I'm in the school district. I'm in an environment where you would think a school's a school. So there should be no difference between what equipment and what understandings that these schools have. You would think that all schools would get the same type of understanding. Sad to say, doesn't happen. You can't say you value me when you belittle me. You can't say you respect me when you won't compensate me. You can't say you honor me when you don't care for me. It's just that simple. These are all facts, folks. Now, that last piece that I just put in there, that's not really fact, but again, it's a personal understanding that for someone who's worked for corporate America for 30 years, if I'm walking away with this understanding, I believe there's more people out there who probably have the same understanding. This is why people are leaving the workplace, a hostile environment. Who wants to work in a hostile environment? I know my worth. I know my value. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do for me. Yes, me. Because guess what corporate America is doing? They're doing for me. They're doing for themselves. We can all change that. Corporate America can have the best, the most productive workforce ever if you stop calling people lazy, if you stop calling people needy, if you stop calling people or telling people that, oh, they want more than they're entitled to. Employees are leaving, returning, or not returning to the workspace because most employees have forgotten what they should value. Employees of what they truly value, which is profit. Those profits are going to come, people. Those profits are going to come. Since President Obama entered in office until now, the Dow has been on an upwards trajectory. So for any business to think that their company won't thrive, well, it won't thrive because you don't know business. Just that simple. I'm sorry. I know it's touching on somebody or tippy-toeing on somebody's toes, but I have to put it out there. Mom and pop shops, if you're not running your business effectively and you're seeing yourself struggling, I would love you to reach out and call me. Erykah Badu has given everybody position to call Tyrone. So don't hesitate. My number will be popping up on the screen occasionally, but don't hesitate. I want you to reach out. All right, so who am I and why do I get the opportunity and the ability to talk to people like this? I've worked for corporate America for more than 30 years. And with 19 corporate America top leaders in their fields of expertise, focusing my knowledge, talents, and skills in the areas of retail, logistics, finance, legal, and education. Today, I educate our youth in the Yonkers Public School Districts and assist money-savvy individuals manage their credit reporting for accuracy and provide asset recommendations. That's it. That's my life right there. That's what I do 24/7. I'm a fanatic when it comes to advocacy and doing this type of work to help our consumers. I'm a fanatic. I wake up, go to bed, thinking, dreaming, how do I help the next person get to that next level? And as long as you want it, I'm going to be here to provide it. But I can only help those who want the help. I can't make you want. I'm not going to twist your arm. I'm not going to force feed you. I'm not going to do anything that you don't want. If you want it, guess what you'll have? You'll get the best of the best to make sure that you remain at your best. It's just that simple. There's no games here. We're not here to pull any punches. We're here to tell it to you exactly like it is. And we're hoping that you are big enough, man enough, woman enough to do the right part, to do your part. So I want to really quickly jump on algorithms. And this is, again, all of this ties in. Every bit of what we're talking about ties in. Algorithms are being used in your credit situations. Algorithms, as you may already know, are being used in your social media situations. Algorithms, if you don't know, are equally being used in your evaluations when it comes to your employer, how they're evaluating you, how they're making sure that you're meeting or not meeting their specific targets. So an algorithm is, in a nutshell, algorithms are simply a series of instructions that are followed by steps. Just that simple, to do something useful or to solve a problem. If you as a worker are there to fulfill a duty, that's a step. They need you at the register. They need you as a cashier. They need you to make sure that the front of the aisles or the front of the store looks presentable. If you're in a department, they need you to make sure that that stocks or whatever it is out there. If you're a fast food worker, they need to make sure that you understand that the chicken stays in the deep fryer for a certain amount of time. So all of this is done per something like an algorithm that gives them the steps. Credit is being abused by algorithms. Abused. They are being abused by algorithms because the steps that they're using are not steps that should be helping you. These steps were designed to do one thing and one thing only. These steps were designed to help the creditors. They were designed to help the reporting agencies. They were designed to help investors. They were not designed to assist nor aid the consumers. Yes, as shocking as that may sound. So we have to do a better job at understanding what are these entities and who are these entities and what are they actually doing to help consumers. I was mortified today or yesterday, actually, when I was reading some of the CFPB's reports as to all of the mumbo jumbo that they put in there that didn't, again, for me, it makes sense. But if you're a normal, regular person looking for some assistance from the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protections Bureau, if you went to their website, you'd probably be lost. You probably would be thinking, well, I don't really think they can do anything for me here, because that's the way that their website is more or less set up, to confuse you instead of to assist you. Shocked. But again, algorithms. Learn this word, understand this word, and start looking into who's using these algorithms against you. We already know Facebook got slammed, and I can't wait till the rest of these companies equally get slammed. Facebook was slammed so hard it had to change its name. All right, so algorithms again, are they enemies or are they allies? Are they enemies or are they allies? This is for you to decide. Is an algorithm something that helps you or is it something that hurts you? How much do you understand about algorithms which generate your credit scores? It's just that simple. If you don't know enough about them, then clearly you might want to dive into them to find out whether or not your score should be higher based on how this algorithm is being set up to, again, do what? Solve a problem. You are the problem to businesses. You're not their ally. You're a problem. Even when you pay on time, you're still a problem. You might think, oh, I'm a good consumer, and you are a good consumer, but they're betting on you to screw up. So when the vision is clear, strategy is easy. And as I stated before, Erykah Badu has given everyone permission. You better call Tyrone. All right, so here we go. We're going to dive into it. We're going to make it happen for you. Take every bit of what I'm telling you to heart. Make it count. Put these items, these tools to use for yourself. It's going to make you that much better as we recover from these financial hardships that too many of us find ourselves in. So how to boost that credit score? How? What do I have to do? Well, here's some things. Here's some tips. Here's some understandings. Pay them bills on time. Number one, it's 35% of your overall credit score. Pay that bill on time. It's 35% of your overall credit score. Don't mess around. Pay it on time. Pay it on time. Pay it on time. Even if you have to pay the minimum, pay it on time. Then if you have to go back and make another payment, but you got to be careful there too, because sometimes a lot of these companies, they don't want you making two payments. Why? It shouldn't really matter. Shouldn't really matter. They should be happy that you are a consumer who understands the importance of paying your bills on time. Make the minimum payment on the first or whatever time frame that you have when your payment is due. Do not wait till it is past due, because that's going to lead into a late payment. They might not hit you with a late payment report, meaning something being reported, but they will hit you with a late payment fee. All right. And that becomes internal information. So when you go back to that entity to borrow more money, they're going to hit you with, oh, we're going to have to charge you higher interest rate, because unlike the federal law where banks or anything on your credit report has to be removed after 7 years, your personal information or your information that is within financial institutions, they can keep that. That's their property. They can keep that for as long as they want. They can keep it as long as they want. 20 years down the road, you could be saying, oh, I need to get a car loan or a home loan. And you go to the same entity where you had 20 years prior, you had a late payment of $10 for 5 days. And they, again, well, you remember back when, this is what they always try to do, so they can justify charging you more interest for something that was older than dirt. So it's really important, again, to understand these particulars. Paying that bill on time might not necessarily be always a great thing, but don't forego paying your bills on time. Learn the methods behind, are these things being reported properly? All right. So something to consider: paying bills on time was a thing with builds, which was a thing that builds positive credit profiles. Over the course of starting this business, I have evaluated a number of credit monitoring services. The industry is serving to masters. And I'm going to constantly keep repeating that. That's going to be the theme of the rest of this year and going into next year. The industry is serving to masters. It's giving you an agreement or contractual understanding, and then it's turning right around and giving Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, and all your lenders another contractual understanding. These two contractual understandings, they conflict. Okay, they conflict. You can't serve two masters, Equifax, TransUnion, Experian. You can't serve two masters, Chase, Bank of America, Target, Walmart, wherever you get your financial products from. They cannot serve two masters. They're going to have to decide. You're either helping consumers or you're helping the business. One of the two. You're going to have to decide. You can always help your business, no question, because if we're frequenting your institutions or your facilities, then we're helping your business. So that's a plus for you. But when it comes to us using your financial products, you're going to have to decide. Are you helping us? Are you standing with us? Or are you standing with the business? Because if you're telling them that my contractual understanding doesn't matter and they can do whatever they want to do, then we have a problem. And for too long, this has been going on. Contractually, in two relationships, the industry of habitual abusers in credit reporting have sided with big profit over accuracy and consumer protection. Just that simple. So pay your debts in full. Now, this is a controversial situation right here, because not necessarily do you have to pay your debts in full. If you pay your debts in full, that's obviously a plus, because again, say use a hypothetical number, a round number, $1,000. You pay that $1,000, you max out, you bring that $1,000 all the way up, you maxed out, and then you pay it back down to zero. That means you freed up 100% of your credit. So that's a good thing, but that also tells the industry that they're not going to make any money off of you. That's never a good thing, because the industry wants to make money off of you. That's how this relationship works. They make money, you get the product, and you get to go out and you get to buy more product. So again, it's a relationship. So not necessarily paying it in full all the time is going to do you the due diligence. Sometimes it's best to, again, give them a little something so that they feel enticed to, again, give you more when you come back to the table for another product, which you're going to be coming back to the table for another product. You're going to be coming back to the table for another product, whether it be a loan, whether it be a credit card, whether it be updating the car, whether it be updating or beautifying your landscape or your bathroom or your kitchen. You're going to be needing these financial products. So you're going to always be coming back. Create a relationship that works for both parties, not just for one. Pay your bills. Oh, sorry. Don't over apply. Do not. Credit is a situation where, again, algorithms, they're catching and grabbing everything that they possibly can to use against you. So when you're over applying for credit, and the holidays are up. So I wanted to really emphasize this one, because the holidays are here now. Everywhere you turn, there's going to be some form of an offer. Everywhere you turn, there's going to be some form of a deal. Don't get bought into the gimmicks. Because if you do, you're going to find yourself, again, not feeling the full benefit of that a new credit situation that you may find yourself in. Please, I'm asking everybody, do yourself this particular holiday season, do yourself one thing. Evaluate, and evaluate. Do I need this? Does my child need a new Xbox? Does my child need a new PlayStation? Does my child need a new $1,000 phone? Does my child need the abundance of what I'm thinking about giving my child this year? Do the friends and family? Because if they don't, put that money to the side. Hold on to it. There's nothing wrong with waiting until the beginning of next year. There's nothing wrong with waiting until February. I'm a retail expert. Yes, I'm going to call myself an expert because I've worked, as I said, 30 years for 19 different companies. Primarily, these companies have been all retail outlets in some form or fashion, even when I worked for Universal. Again, Universal is an amusement park. What does that have to do with retail? Well, it has a lot to do with retail because in those amusement parks, what do they have? They have shops. They have shops that you go and you purchase your goods to have as souvenirs when you go back home and say, hey, look what I got you. I got this shirt. Hey, I was in Florida and all I received was this shirt. You know, those types of situations. But again, don't over apply. Be cautious with your name. Don't just go out there putting it down on anything saying, okay, yes, give me for what? For a 10% off? That 10% is not a bargain. Give me 90% off? Yes. Okay, perfect. I'll sign on the dotted line. But 10%? No, it's not enough. 15, 20, 30, 40, 50? Not enough. If they can give it away at that price, if they can, again, think about it. If someone can reduce something down 70%, what did they pay for it to begin with? That's number one. If they reduce it down to 70%, how many times has it been marked down since it actually made it into their organization or into their entity? Think smarter, think wiser. This is what we do here. We create savvy, smart, wise, intelligent, informed consumers. Don't get bought into the gimmicks. All right, here. 5. Having 5 credit cards is about right. That's all you need, about 5. If you have more than that, the average single person should have anywhere between 5 and 8 credit cards. If you are a household of 4, you should have somewhere between 8 and 12. 5 credit products. I need to reiterate that. 5 credit products. Yeah, they can all be credit cards because the majority of us who are in that realm of 70% of the population literally resides in that realm where our credit scores are not where they need to be because of manipulation and algorithms. But again, 5 to 8 credit products for anyone who is single. Make sure you pay those on time. But if you are a family of 4, you should have somewhere between 8 and 12 credit products. All right, these credit products, and if you're doing the right things and the same things by each one of these credit products, and you're monitoring them, you're logging them or cataloging them properly so that you know exactly when, as I stated, when they report and when they are posted. Those are 2 critical things to understand, report and posting. And if you're doing that by all of your understandings, creating a log, and if you don't have one, trust me, Leverage Credit Recovery would be more than happy to email you our log, and we'll walk you through every single part of that log so that you, the consumer, have exactly what you need to be able to keep yourself financially, when it comes to credit, on track. All right, so 5 credit cards is about right. All right, don't be quick to cancel. Please be careful with, I hate this card. It's not doing this for me, or it's not doing that for me. Can I get rid of it? Of course you can get rid of it. But if you cancel it, that stops the reporting. Now, you could do something like a balance transfer if your credit's that good. Yes, I would do that in a minute. If I went to somebody and I said to them, hey, my interest rate is 24%. Is there, a possibility where we can lower that? And they say, well, based on no. Then that's an entity that I don't want to be working with, especially if I've been with them for a number of years. Even if I've been with them for 1 or 2 years, that's still a relationship. And in that time frame, you have obviously made payments. Now, if you've been on a good trajectory, then guess what? There should be no one ever telling you no. If you've had some hiccups, again, still, there should be no one telling you flat out, no, we're not helping you. We're not doing nothing for you. And that's what a lot of these institutions do. They just basically flat out tell you, no. If that's the type of relationship you are in, then cancel. Then get rid of it. Then buy. See, you can always get another card later on down the road. But if that's not the type of relationship you are in, hold on to those credit products. Use them in the manner in which you should. obviously keep negotiating, keep negotiating, keep negotiating. I'm going to say it one more time. Keep negotiating. Contractual understandings are about negotiations. And we got to learn how to negotiate, people. We got to learn how to negotiate. I was one of those individuals who clearly didn't know how to do that. I'm one of those individuals who do it consistently now. Why? Because I'm educated. I'm smart. I'm savvy. I'm intelligent. I'm someone who's paying attention. And this is my job now to make sure that those of you who look like me and who don't look like me understand that you yourself can do the exact same thing. Basketball teams have coaches. Football teams have coaches. Actors, actresses have coaches. Singers have coaches. Golf players have coaches. Why is it that we as individuals don't have coaches when it comes to some very important situations in our lives? Our financial situation desires and almost requires that you have someone who can coach you through some of the challenges that you yourself cannot do on your own. So again, do not be so quick to cancel. Hold on to it, negotiate it. If you can't negotiate it, if it's really that these individuals are so horrible, it's like a relationship. You're not going to be in a loveless relationship. Bye, Felicia. Okay? But if it's a relationship that just requires some more attention, or it requires a coach, or it requires someone who can navigate you successfully through the difficulties or the challenges, by all means, that's what we're here to do. So don't be so quick to cancel. All right, keep accounts open. So this is where we left off last week. We want to keep those accounts open, especially your older ones. Do not close them unless it is of a dire situation where it's just you can't hold on to it anymore. You can't do anything else with it. Then yes, by all means, close it, get rid of it. The older ones, you kind of want to hold on to those because if you close those out, it does reduce your history. Now, I've also come to understand that if you open up new credit as well, they're going to hit you with a penalty. Not necessarily a penalty that hurts you, the individual, but it hurts your credit score, which ultimately turns around and hurts you. What I mean by that penalty is that you're going to see your credit history get impacted. And that for me is horrible. That for me, when I first found out that this is what they're doing, they're using new credit understandings to actually go back and reduce your history. It's, again, another ploy, another fabricated understanding that, again, hurts you, the consumer. If businesses were about helping the consumers, they wouldn't be trying to hurt consumers with saying, oh, well, by the way, if you get another credit card or if you get another credit item, we're going to turn around and we're going to reduce your history. It shouldn't be reducing your history. It should be saying, wow, you're a great consumer. Excellent. Keep it up. Keep up the good job. But we don't get 2 thumbs up. We don't get that attaboy. They always look for the possibilities of, see, I told you. See, They're looking for the pointing of the finger situations. They're looking at the, I knew it. They're waiting for that opportunity to, again, deny you something that you should not be denied. So again, focus on keeping accounts open, especially your older ones. But obviously, if it's causing some form of a hardship, speak with somebody like myself, and maybe we can help you with remaining solvent in that particular contractual understanding, or we'll suggest or recommend to you, yeah, just get rid of it. There's other opportunities out there that could better your financial situation. So something to consider. First, ask yourself if the card is going to tempt you to run up your expenses. If it is, toss it. Boosting your score by a few points is never worth going into debt. Next, make sure that your credit cards or your card isn't charging you an annual fee. Most of these cards will charge an annual fee to try to keep that interest rate low, but if they're charging you a huge annual fee and a high interest rate, bye. Get rid of it. Okay? See if you can downgrade, as I already said, at no annual fee. Again, negotiation. Finally, use it if you can swipe it much or often. Keep the card active. That's it. Allocate your cards to certain activities. Just that simple. Allocate your cards. If If you have a $300 card or a $400 card or a $500 card, by now you should pretty much know what my cell phone bill and my electricity bill averages out together. That's $300. There you are. You have a card now that you can use on a monthly basis to making sure that you pay that cell phone, pay that electricity. Once you've paid that, take that card, put it in the drawer or the safe place where you always put all of your credit cards, and you don't have to touch that for a whole another 30 days. If you got a $500 card, same thing. If I know my grocery bill is $470, boom, there you are right there. There's your allocated card that you can use primarily for groceries. Now, this is where we get ourselves into trouble when we get these large, massive cards. 5,000, 10,000, 15, 20,000. You max those out or you get somewhere up in that 70, 80 percentile. It's going to be very challenging unless you're making $120,000, $200,000 a year. It's going to be very challenging to take a $10,000, even a $5,000 card and bring it down, especially if you have one $5,000 card, another $8,000 card, maybe a $6,000 card, and then you got two or three 200, 300, 500,000. I mean, 200, 300, or $500 credit cards. You'll be able to manage those smaller ones, but them bigger ones, that's going to hurt your score, and it's going to continuously hurt your score. Allocate your cards, get smaller amounts on those cards. You're going to see your credit go through the roof with how you manage open accounts, especially your older ones. All right, and 5, don't overspend. Don't. If you're using cash, debit, and credit, blowing it out the water. You're overspending. If you're using cash, debit, and credit, you're blowing it out the water. You're overspending. Let's get away from that. Put everything on a credit card. If I go to the bodega, if I go to my favorite store, I live in New York, so we call them bodegas. But if I go to my favorite store and I go to wherever it is that I want to shop, and if I use cash, the person at the store is going to tell me, thank you, please come again. If I use debit, same thing. The person at the store is going to tell me, thank you, please come again. But if I use my credit card, that person at the store is going to say, thank you, please come again. And that then gets reported to my Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, depending on how I manage that account. Just that simple. Why are we using products that do not give us back something in return? Oh, we've been so programmed and so trained to think, oh, got me some new Jordans, so that's my win-win. No. Got me a new iPhone, so that's my win-win. No. Got me a new 60-inch TV, so that's my win-win. No. Your win is getting the product and equally seeing the payoff in my credit score by me meeting my obligation. That's where the win-win is. So stop getting duped into thinking, I'm going to only use cash. I'm going to only use debit. I'm going to use credit occasionally. But for the most part, I don't want to get hit with interest rates. I don't want to deal with credit card companies. You're going to have to deal with credit card companies. You're going to have to deal with interest rates. But if you're a smart, savvy, wise consumer, guess what you're going to have? You're going to have a great relationship that those interest rates are not even going to bother you because you're going to be right in that understanding where we're attempting to get most people. 1%, 2%, 3%. It's okay to give somebody 1%, 2%, 3%. That's perfectly fine. That's fine. What you don't want to be doing is giving somebody 15, 18, 24%. That's where I have a problem. So don't overspend. Focus on, again, using the proper product, using the proper means of exchange. If you do that, credit score goes through the roof. All right, something to consider. Only spend what you can afford to pay off right now. What that right now means is 30 days. 30 days. You got 30 days to pay that item off. Okay. Avoid impulse purchases. I'm famous for impulse purchases. But again, I've become so rigid in making sure that I put whatever I'm purchasing onto whatever credit card that I've allocated for those particular understandings. And then I meet my contractual obligation every single 30 days. The part that we're seeing as the major issue is that the contractual understanding that we've entered into with, say, our lenders is not being upheld by Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. So that's the difference. Okay, so you got to be really, really careful. Got to be understanding, and you have to go back and you have to check your credit reports. If you're not checking your credit reports, it's going to be very challenging to stay on point or to stay on top of these types of understandings. All right, start tracking your spending. Not saying writing down every single, but again, if you are someone who's meticulous like that, choose to do that. Absolutely do it. But what I'm referring to is your overall picture. If I spent $500, make sure that you're writing that $500. If I spent it on that particular card and it's the allocated card that I'm using to document, make sure that you are documenting. Make sure that you are tracking and documenting your spending, your reporting, your posting. Make sure that all of these things are accurate because you're going to need this should you have a problem, should you have a concern, should you have a situation that will arise. And you're going to need that. So it's best to have it prior to, then have to go back searching for, getting yourself all frustrated because these individuals, those frontline employees, they know exactly how to frustrate you. They know exactly how to tap dance on those nerves to get you to do what? Oh, I'm tired of this. Hang right up. Oh, I'm done. Hang right up. That's what they want you to hang up. They want you to get so frustrated that you use verbiage that is unconducive of a business environment. And once they get you there, you can't talk to me like that. If you continue to use that type of tone or that type of language, I'm going to have to disconnect the call. I tell them all the time, well, disconnect the call. Bye. I don't need you. Because if you're not taking my concern that serious, then what business do we have doing business together? You're just a frontline employee. So as I tell everybody, I don't mean to be disrespectful to frontline employees. You have a very valid role within companies, but for the most part, a lot of them don't know much. And I'm not blaming them for not knowing much. I'm blaming their entity for not teaching them enough. Right? So don't get bought, don't get sold, don't forget to not start tracking your spending. Don't let rewards tempt you. Don't. Gimmicks. Those are gimmicks. Those are ploys. Those are tricks. Those are, again, Roger Stone tricksters. Don't get bought into temptations of some kind of reward. As much as I appreciate his comedy, as much as I appreciate his action movies, Samuel L. Jackson, thank you very much. But what's in my wallet? Your company's hand is in my wallet. As much as I appreciate his comedy, the little man, Kevin Hart, same thing. Same thing. What's in my wallet? Your hand's in my wallet. That's what's in my wallet. So don't get tempted by these 2%. There's another one out there, no annual fee. Oh my God. Wow. You're not going to charge me the $79 a month? I mean, a year? Wow. Well, thank you for doing me such a huge favor. But you're still going to charge me 24%. Wow, you are so generous. Don't get caught. Don't get bought into the idiocies of what these companies, these financial institutions are calling as rewards, because they're not rewards. They're not. They're gimmicks. And lastly, avoid store credit cards if you need to. Okay? I'm saying if you need to. A lot of those store credit cards do not give you the full benefits. Avoid low-end products like a Green Dot product. Again, I used to go out and I used to advocate for Green Dot. I used to say, get you a Green Dot. Get you a Green Dot Premier. But now I come to find out that the Green Dot product is their lower-end product and it's trash. It's garbage. So everybody who has a Green Dot Premier card, we should be all considering looking for a new product, because it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. And overall, none of them are doing what they're supposed to be doing because they're not reporting in the manner in which they should. They're serving two masters. And as long as they're serving two masters, we, the consumer, will always find ourselves at the shortest end of that stick. So you got 5 really amazing considers that you should be looking at and you should be paying attention to. And I'm hoping that they will guide you and steer you in the right direction of making sure that your credit and your credit history and your credit future is on point. Because if you do that, I'm telling you now, you're going to have nothing to worry about, whether there's a pandemic, whether there isn't a pandemic, whether you are employed or whether you're not employed, whether you leave the workforce or you choose to retire. As long as you are taking care of that financial piece that really has the biggest impact over all financial understandings, that credit will help you, and it will severely hinder and hurt you. Why didn't I get that job? Well, it might be related to your credit. Why didn't you get that promotion? Well, it might be related to your credit. Why didn't you get that loan? Well, it might be related to your credit. It's definitely not related to your wardrobe. They didn't look at your shoes when you came in there to apply for that loan, so it's not related to what type of kicks you got on. It's not related to anything other than the information that they see prior to even seeing you. We got to be better, people. We got to be better. And if we do better, then we'll have the necessities that we want. We know how to do better. It's now time to do better. All right. Moreover, use no more than 30% of your total available credit. All right. 30%. 30%. I'm saying 30% because this is the standard that Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, MyFICO, they have this wheel. It's all out there, 30%. Do not use more than 30%. What that means is that you can take your credit and you can go all the way up. You can max it out, but bring it back down to 30% prior to that bill being due. Or, when that due date is available to you. All right. So if I max it out and my due date is on the 2nd, by the time the 2nd comes, about $1,000, I obviously need to bring that down to what? $300. Then I freed up 70% of my credit. I'm there exactly where I need to be to make sure that I'm going to get the full allotment of my credit score. This is not saying only use $300 of your $1,000, but the way that they formulate it in the verbiage here, that's exactly what one would walk away with. Well, I can only use 30% of my available credit? No. Use all your credit that you want. Just remember that, bringing it back down to that 30%. I use simple numbers like $1,000. So 30% of $1,000 is now I'm freeing up $700 and bringing it down to $300. That is now exactly where the industry wants me to be. All right, next week, compound interest. What is compound interest? Why does compound interest matter? This is what we're going to be talking about next week. So I'm truly hoping that all of you are excited about everything that we've been talking about. I know I jumped through a couple of those slides because we went through them last week. And this was just, as I stated, a continuation from last week because I wanted to really emphasize the importance of one, why are people leaving? They're leaving because it's a hostile environment. The workplace is hostile. No one wants to be in a place where people are calling you names. People are calling you out. People are pointing fingers. People are making you feel so uncomfortable in your own skin that you have to think about, well, oh my God, I wonder if this person is going to be at work today because I sure don't have no patience for that one. Oh, I don't like this one. We're teaching our kids this very same garbage. Because again, teacher. I get to sit in school all day with a handful of wonderful, and I'm going to say it, wonderful, tiny people. They just need proper guidance. That's all. Tiny personalities who are looking and craving proper decency and understanding from us adults. They're not looking for an adult child. They're looking for someone who can guide them properly through the understandings. And as a teacher, that's what I'm going to continuously keep doing. As an uncle, that's what I'm going to continue to keep doing. As a decent person, that's what I'm going to continuously keep doing. And it's not just for our younger population. This is also equally for our older population. You need help too, folks. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay for individuals to identify that you need help. And if you're open-minded, if you're someone of a conscientious understanding that, yes, I do need help with certain things, then it's okay. That's what we are here for. That's why we have experts. That's why we have individuals who are talented in a certain area. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Closed mouths don't get fed. It's just that simple. We got to do better. So next week, I hope you're all going to be around. I hope you're all going to be taking part in compound interest. What is it? And what does compound interest, or how does it matter? So why does compound interest matter? Again, just really quick, compound interest equals interest earned on money that was previously earned as investment. Compound interest causes interest and account balances to grow. All right, so this is just a little tidbit. I'm just giving you a little taste. Good for savings and investments, but can work against you in paying interest on loans. So again, you got the pluses of the compound interest on earned money, and then you have the negative, which is interest that you have to pay on loans. Frequent time, interest rates, deposits, and starting amounts all make compound interest powerful. So again, we're going to be diving a lot more deeper into that next week. So I'm truly hoping and that you will all be available to literally get some more understanding about compound interest and how they work to your advantage, and also equally how they can harm you. I want to touch really quick on this, and this is going to be part of that compound interest, Rule 72. If you don't know about Rule 72, I do hope that you chime into Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse's program, Access Wealth Nation. Again, she's the expert in this particular area right here. I'm just someone, again, I'm just going to touch on it. I'm going to make you really understand what this truly means. If you're giving your bank 12%, your bank is doubling your money. They're doubling that money. If you leave your money in a bank, they're doubling that money. They're doubling it every 6 years. So when they give you 1.5 return on your money, it is going to take you, if you put $10,000 in the bank and they're giving you 1.5, it's going to take you 48 years to double that money. Say they're giving you 3%. It's going to take you 24 years to double your money. So you're going to have to know about this Rule 72. And you're going to need someone who's far more proficient than I am to explain it. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what Rule 72 and how important it's going to be for you to start doubling your money. It's not that hard to understand that. If I gave you $10,000 at 12%, and yes, there are investment opportunities out there where you can get 12%. Oh, yes, you have to find the right fiduciary, or if you have to find the right doctor that can help you, meaning Doctor of Finance, Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, or my fiduciary friend, Antonio Kenyatta. They can get you this 12% that I'm talking about. This is not made up stats. This is real. This is actually something that you as an individual can do for yourself on a regular basis. You just got to want it more than those who are providing it to you. But keep settling for 1.5. Keep settling for 3% on your 401ks. All right? Because that you're giving them 100% of your money, but you're only receiving 3% back. Just a little something to think about. So, as always, I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. Make your money work for you with Leverage Credit Recovery. I can be reached at 805-428-9424. The website is as the business name, leveragecreditrecovery.com. And if you want to send us an email, leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. It's always a pleasure. I appreciate
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.